In 1513, a disgraced politician sat in exile, broke and forgotten. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli. He had lost everything: his position, his wealth, his reputation. But in that darkness, he wrote something that would change the world forever. The Prince. Most people think it's a book about politics. They're wrong. It's a book about power. And power, whether you like it or not, is the foundation of all wealth. Today, I'm going to show you Machiavelli's 10 laws of wealth. These aren't the feel-good principles your favorite guru teaches. These are the brutal, uncomfortable truths that separate the rich from the broke, the powerful from the powerless, the users from the used. And here's what nobody tells you. These laws are already being used against you every single day by your employer, by corporations, by people who understand the game while you're still pretending it doesn't exist. So you have two choices: learn these laws and use them, or stay ignorant and continue being used. Let's begin. Law 1. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Machiavelli wrote, "Men love at their own free will, but fear at the will of the prince." Let me translate that for you. People will respect your authority and pay you what you're worth when they fear the consequences of not doing so. Not because they like you, not because you're nice, but because you've established yourself as someone who cannot be taken advantage of. Now, before you misunderstand me, I'm not talking about being an asshole. I'm talking about establishing boundaries, consequences, standards. Look at every underpaid person you know. What do they have in common? They're desperate to be liked. They say yes to everything. They work overtime without compensation. They accept disrespect because they're afraid of conflict. They confuse being agreeable with being valuable. And they stay broke. Now look at every wealthy person you know. They're not trying to be your friend. They're clear about their terms. They walk away from bad deals. They fire clients who waste their time. They charge premium prices without apology. And you know what happens? People respect them more. People pay them more. Why? Because scarcity creates value. And nothing communicates scarcity like someone who isn't desperate for approval. Steve Jobs didn't build Apple by asking customers what they wanted. He told them what they needed and made them line up for it. Elon Musk doesn't apologize for his vision. He pursues it relentlessly, and the market adjusts to him, not the other way around. This doesn't mean you should be cruel. It means you should be selective. Guard your time like it's worth millions, because it is. Set clear boundaries and enforce them without guilt. Make people earn access to you. When you need everyone to like you, you have no leverage. When you're willing to be disliked for protecting your standards, you become invaluable. The masses want to be loved. The wealthy understand that respect and fear of losing you is far more profitable. Law 2. Never show your full hand. Machiavelli advised princes to be a great pretender and dissembler. In modern terms, shut up about your plans. This is where most people destroy their own success. They get an idea and immediately tell everyone. They announce their goals on social media. They share their strategies with competitors disguised as friends. They reveal their financial situation to people who don't need to know. And then they wonder why their ideas get stolen, why opportunities disappear, why people undermine them. Here's what the wealthy know. Information is currency, and you're giving yours away for free. Warren Buffett doesn't announce his investments before he makes them. Bezos didn't tell retail competitors his expansion plans. Zuckerberg acquired Instagram and WhatsApp before anyone understood the strategy. Silence is power. When you're building something, keep it quiet. Work in private. Win in private. Let your results announce your arrival, not your mouth. Because here's what happens when you broadcast your intentions. Weak people discourage you out of jealousy. Smart people steal your ideas. And everyone gets to watch you fail if things don't work out. The only people who need to know your plans are the people directly involved in executing them. I see this constantly. Someone starts a business and immediately creates social media accounts announcing it, posts about their journey, shares their revenue goals, talks about their strategy. 6 months later, they're gone, and someone else is doing their idea better. Compare that to the quiet builders, the ones who disappear for a year and come back with something undeniable. They're not being secretive for drama. They're protecting their competitive advantage. You're not Muhammad Ali yet. You're still building. So stop telegraphing your punches. Move in silence. Let success make the noise. Machiavelli knew this 500 years ago. Secrecy preserves power. Transparency dilutes it. Law 3. Appear weak when you are strong. Strong when you are weak. This is psychological warfare applied to wealth building. Machiavelli understood that perception shapes reality. If your enemies think you're weak, they underestimate you. If they think you're strong, they hesitate. Both can be used to your advantage. Let me show you how this works in business. When you're negotiating a deal and you have all the leverage, never show it. Act like you have options, but you're genuinely interested. This keeps the other party comfortable and prevents them from hardening their position. The moment they think you're desperate for this deal, they'll squeeze you. On the flip side, when you're in a weak position, you project confidence, not arrogance. Confidence. You act like this opportunity is one of many, like you're doing them a favor by even considering it. I've watched this play out in salary negotiations countless times. The candidate who seems desperate gets the lowest offer. The candidate who seems like they have other options gets the highest offer. Same qualifications, different psychology. Rockefeller mastered this. During the oil wars of the late 1800s, he'd lowball competitors when buying their businesses, acting like he was doing them a favor. Meanwhile, he was building a monopoly. By the time they realized how powerful he'd become, it was too late. This law also applies to your personal brand. When you're broke, dress well. Carry yourself like success is inevitable. Invest in looking the part even when you're struggling. Why? Because people invest in winners. They give opportunities to people who appear successful. And when you're actually wealthy, stay humble. Drive a modest car, dress normally,
Don't flash your wealth. This protects you from jealousy, bad advice, and people who only want access to your money. The truly wealthy often look ordinary. The truly broke often look rich. One group understands Machiavelli. The other is trying to convince themselves. Perception management isn't lying. It's strategic presentation of information. It's understanding that how people see you affects how they treat you, and how they treat you affects your opportunities. Control the perception, control the outcome. Law 4. Use the talents of others to serve your purposes. Machiavelli wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Translation: you will never build significant wealth alone. And trying to do everything yourself is the fastest way to stay broke. This is the hardest lesson for most people to learn. They think independence means doing everything themselves. They confuse self-reliance with isolation, and they cap their income at exactly what one person can produce. Look at any truly wealthy person. What do they all have in common? They've built teams. They've learned to leverage other people's time, skills, and expertise. Elon Musk didn't build rockets himself. He hired aerospace engineers. Bezos didn't pack boxes. He built systems and hired thousands. Oprah didn't edit her own shows. She focused on her unique talent and surrounded herself with experts in everything else. But here's where Machiavelli gets dark, and where most self-help gurus stop talking. You must be strategic about who you bring into your circle. Not everyone deserves access to your vision. Not everyone has the competence to help you. And some people will actively sabotage you while pretending to support you. Machiavelli advised princes to use people's ambitions for their own purposes, to identify what each person wants and position yourself as the path to them getting it. This isn't manipulation, it's alignment. If someone wants money, show them how helping you build your business makes them money. If someone wants recognition, give them visibility in exchange for results. If someone wants to learn, position yourself as the mentor while they contribute labor. Everyone serves themselves. The question is whether you're conscious enough to create win-win scenarios or naive enough to give without receiving. Here's the brutal part most people miss. Loyalty is rare. Competence is rarer. Finding both in one person is almost impossible.
So Machiavelli said to never fully trust anyone with your entire enterprise. Compartmentalize. Let different people handle different aspects. This protects you if someone betrays you or proves incompetent. The wealthy don't do everything themselves, but they also don't blindly trust. They leverage talent while maintaining control. They delegate execution, but never delegate vision. If you're still trying to do everything yourself, you're not being noble, you're being stupid. Your time is your only non-renewable resource. Use other people's skills to multiply your output. Just be smart about who you let in and what they have access to. Law 5. Enter action with boldness. Machiavelli observed that fortune is a woman, and it is necessary to hold her down and beat her and fight with her. Okay, that sounds insane today. But the principle is simple. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. Here's what I see constantly. Someone has an idea. They research it for months. They plan it perfectly. They wait for the right time. They save a little more money. They take one more course. They consume one more piece of content, and they never start. Meanwhile, someone with half their knowledge and a quarter of their resources launches imperfectly and figures it out along the way. 5 years later, the hesitant one is still planning. The bold one is already successful. Why? Because the market rewards action, not intention. Machiavelli knew this. Princes who acted decisively, even when the decision was risky, commanded more respect and achieved more success than rulers who deliberated endlessly. This doesn't mean be reckless. It means once you have enough information to make a decision, make it. Then adjust based on feedback. The cost of waiting is always higher than the cost of a wrong decision you can pivot from. The market doesn't punish wrong decisions nearly as much as it punishes indecision. A wrong decision teaches you something. Indecision teaches you nothing and costs you time you'll never get back. Bold action creates momentum. When people see you moving with certainty, they want to be part of it. Investors fund bold visions. Customers buy from confident sellers. Partners follow decisive leaders. Your boldness signals belief. And if you don't believe in your own move enough to act, why should anyone else believe in it enough to pay for it? The graveyard is full of perfect plans that were never executed. History is written by imperfect actions that moved forward anyway. Law 6. Crush your enemy totally. Machiavelli wrote, "If an injury has to be done to a man, it should be so severe that his vengeance need not be feared." In business, this doesn't mean violence. It means finality. Partial solutions create long-term enemies. Total solutions create peace. A toxic employee, a draining client, a failing strategy. Most people deal with these halfway. They warn, they negotiate, they delay, and the problem gets worse. When something is actively working against your success, remove it completely. No half measures, no emotional bargaining. Cut it off and move forward. Partial conflict is more expensive than total resolution. Leave an enemy wounded and they plot against you. Remove them from your ecosystem and they lose power over you. Rockefeller didn't negotiate with competitors. He crushed them, bought them, or forced them out. Bezos didn't coexist with rivals. He absorbed or eliminated them. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. Mercy to what destroys you is cruelty to yourself. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. This is one of the most misunderstood laws in Machiavelli's playbook. Most people hear this and think it means exploitation. It doesn't. It means leadership is about direction, not personal labor. When you're building wealth, Your job is not to do everything yourself. Your job is to orchestrate outcomes, to set the vision, to make the final calls, and to be the face of the results. Think of a film director. They don't act, they don't operate the camera, they don't edit the footage. But when the movie succeeds, the director gets the credit. Why? Because without their vision, the work never comes together. This is what Machiavelli meant. Steve Jobs didn't code the iPhone. He didn't design the chips. He didn't assemble the hardware. But it was his standards, his taste, his refusal to compromise that made the product inevitable. Remove one engineer, and the phone still exists. Remove Jobs, and it doesn't. That's the difference between being useful and being irreplaceable. Here's what keeps people poor. They tie their identity to effort instead of outcomes. They want recognition for how hard they worked, not for what they produced. But the market doesn't pay for effort. It pays for results. If you do all the work yourself, your income is capped at what one person can produce. If you can direct 10 people, your income scales with 10 people. If you can direct 100, it scales again. This is why employees trade time for money and owners trade vision for leverage. Taking credit is not ego, it's positioning. If you constantly minimize your role, the market will do the same. You can acknowledge your team, reward them, and still make it clear that you are the source of direction. Be known as the person who makes things happen, not the person who just works hard. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Machiavelli understood leverage, and leverage comes from never chasing. When you chase clients, investors, or opportunities, you negotiate from weakness. When they come to you, you negotiate from strength. The rule is simple. Never appear desperate. Desperation is visible. People feel it immediately. And once they sense it, respect disappears. Confidence does the opposite. It attracts. Look at luxury brands. They don't beg customers. They limit access. They raise prices. They make people wait. Scarcity creates desire, and desire creates power. Most people do the opposite. They chase every opportunity. They discount themselves. They over-explain. They say yes to anyone who shows interest. And they stay broke. Value is perceived before it's experienced. If you act like you're abundant and selective, people assume you're valuable. If you act cheap and available, they treat you that way. Make yourself someone worth pursuing, and when people come to you, they'll respect you more and pay you more.
Law 9. Win through actions, never through argument.
Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand." Translation: people believe what they see, not what you explain. This is where most people destroy their credibility. They argue about their plans. They debate ideas. They explain why they're right. They try to convince others with words. And none of it matters. Results end conversations. Proof kills doubt. Two people can have the same idea. One argues about why it will work. The other quietly builds it and shows evidence. Only one of them wins. You cannot talk your way into success. You can only act your way into it. This applies to business, careers, and reputation. The person who delivers consistently doesn't need to defend themselves. Their work speaks for them. When someone doubts you, don't argue. Execute. When someone questions your method, don't explain. Apply it. If it works, you win. If it doesn't, you adjust. Arguments waste energy. Execution compounds it. The marketplace doesn't reward intentions, logic, or passion. It rewards outcomes. Win through evidence, not rhetoric. Law 10. Plan all the way to the end. Machiavelli believed the wise man plans the final move before the first. Most people think short-term. They make decisions based on immediate comfort without considering long-term consequences. This traps them in cycles of temporary wins, followed by predictable failure. The wealthy think in years and decades. When most people start a business, they ask, "How do I make money quickly?" The wealthy ask, "How do I build something that lasts?" Planning to the end means thinking several moves ahead. If this works, what comes next? And after that? It also means planning for failure. Most people plan for success and panic when things go wrong. The wealthy expect obstacles. They prepare contingencies. Before entering a deal, they know how they'll exit. Before choosing a partner, they know how they'll separate if needed. Before committing resources, they define the point where they walk away. This removes emotion from decision-making. The poor hope for the best. The wealthy prepare for the worst. Knowing when to quit is as important as knowing when to persist. Most people stay in failing situations because they never defined failure in advance. Strategic thinking isn't optimism or pessimism. It's realism. This is chess, not checkers. So there they are, Machiavelli's 10 laws of wealth. They aren't comfortable. They aren't polite. But they work. These laws are already being used, right now, by employers, competitors, and people who understand power better than most. The only question is whether you'll learn them consciously or keep playing unaware. Machiavelli wasn't evil. He was honest. He described the world as it is, not as we wish it were. You can reject these principles if they offend you, or you can understand them and decide how to apply them with discipline and intent. But make the choice consciously, because unconscious players always lose to conscious strategists. The game continues, with or without you.